He killed his baby and he's in the house.
Okay, you said that he told you he killed his baby? Okay, ma'am, listen to me. What's your name?
When an adopted daughter decided to reconnect with her biological parents, it would be the worst decision of her life. Although she may have been looking to reconnect with her biological family, that relationship would take a disturbing turn for the worse. It is stated that blood is thicker than water. Family loyalties are the strongest as compared to any other relationship. But when the world reveals its cruel stories, the above statement is hard for us to believe in. The case of Stephen Pladl blinds our concept of fatherhood. The timeline of the case reveals another shocking news day by day. In 1995, 20-year-old Stephen Pladl met a 15-year-old girl named Alicia Gracia through the internet. They started dating each other, and after 2 years, Alicia got pregnant. The couple gave birth to a beautiful baby girl in January 1998 and named her Denise Pladl. As time went by, their marriage was turning into a wreck. According to Alicia, Stephen would physically abuse his daughter. He was allegedly seen pinching the baby so hard that it would leave bruises on her defenseless body. She accused him of trapping the baby in a cooler until all the oxygen went out, after which he released the young girl. With alleged physical abuse, Alicia suffered a financial burden at the hands of her husband. He did not have a stable job, due to which Alicia had to take care of him, as well as the baby. At last, she had no other choice but to give Denise up for adoption. The young baby girl was only 8 months old at this stage. In an interview, Alicia told the interviewer, "It was so hard to give her up, but I wanted her to live and be happy." A couple from Dutchess County, New York, named Anthony and Kelly Fuso, adopted Denise and named her Katie Fuso. Denise, who was known as Katie, grew up in a loving household. Her parents gave her every necessity and luxury to live a happy life. In 2007, Alicia gave birth to another daughter. It was almost 10 years after they gave their first child for adoption. Alicia thought that they were more mature as a couple to raise children. Stephen and Alicia had 2 daughters in total, excluding Katie. Katie, who was now 18 years old, was studying arts at Dover High School for drawing comic strips. She also used to write blogs and planned to pursue a career in digital advertising. She quoted in a blog post, "A pen and something to draw on became a safe place for me." But her curiosity about her biological family brought her to a vicious fate. She started looking for her biological parents on the internet. Unlikely, she found who they were and messaged them online. Alicia and Stephen were very happy after hearing from their daughter after years. Katie changed her plans to join the local college and moved in with her biological parents and younger sisters in Henrico County, Virginia. When Katie moved in with her biological parents, things were not good in the married couple's life. They had been sleeping in different beds for a long time. Stephen's anger issue devastated Alicia. He would often crash out of the house, break things, and pointed holes on the wall. Alicia quotes, "I was always on eggshells. Whatever his mood was, everybody knew it, and that mood was often not happy. A lot of yelling, a lot of things, smashed in the house, in front of the kids." Things took an awkward turn when Katie and Stephen developed a strong bond. According to Alicia, Stephen behaved differently around Katie and even tried to look younger by styling his beard. Alicia decided to disclose to Katie the abuses she had suffered at the hands of her father, thinking this would lessen the developing affection between them both. But things turned out to be the opposite, as Katie and Stephen got closer. The developing love between Katie and Stephen took a weird turn when the father started sleeping in his daughter's bedroom. Their relationship had crossed all lines and they had fallen in love. Alicia was unaware of their intimate relationship, but she still filed a divorce in November of 2016, splitting the custody of their 2 younger daughters. In May, the truth unfolded upon Alicia. When her younger daughter wrote what she witnessed in a journal, the young girl wrote, "Katie is pregnant, and my dad is Satan. He is Satan." With that, many other things that showed her unlikeness for her dad were written in the journal. She drew pictures of Stephen and Katie, showing them as demons. When Alicia confronted her then ex-husband with the dirty truth, he replied, "I thought you knew we were in love." Alicia reported to the police, but neither did Stephen nor Katie were arrested. On the 20th of July, the father and daughter relationship turned into a marriage, and a legal one. They moved to Maryland, where they hid their biological relation, as it was illegal for a father and daughter to get married. As if the wedding wasn't already disturbing enough, in attendance at the wedding were Stephen's mother, Grace, and Katie's adoptive parents, attended the wedding ceremony at Parkton. This was 2 months after Alicia and Stephen's divorce. The police were still investigating the matter of the relationship of Katie and Stephen. On 1st September of 2017, Katie gave birth to a child named Bennett. The family moved to a house on a cul-de-sac in Knightdale, North Carolina. However, the police administered DNA tests on Stephen, Katie, and their newborn son. It was proved that they were biological related and were arrested on incest charges in January. They were charged with incest, adultery, and contributing to delinquency. Steven's lawyer, Rick Friedman II, defended the case by saying, "The case is an 18-year-old girl who shows up at the doorstep of a 40-year-old man who's going through difficult times with his wife." Steven had never pressured Katie to start a relationship and was released on bail under strict rules. The judge had ordered him not to leave Virginia and to not have any contact with Katie. He was allowed to meet his son Bennett, who was in the custody of Steven's mother's Grace. On the other hand, Katie was also released on bail and was ordered to end any contact with Steven. After being released from jail, Katie moved back with her adoptive parents. She called Steven to end their relationship. Steven was devastated by the news as he lost his entire family. On 11th April of 2018, he picked up his infant son from Grace, telling her that he was going to take the baby to Katie. Steven then took the baby to his house in North Carolina and strangled him to death. This was not the end of his murderous rage. He then drove to New York to Katie's house. After quietly stalking Katie's family from his blue minivan, Steven followed Katie and her adoptive father on their way to her adoptive grandmother's house. When Katie's truck stopped at a point, Steven took full advantage of the situation and opened fire on them. The bullets pierced through their brains, finishing them forever. The horrible incident was witnessed by an off-duty firefighter who immediately called 911.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Hello, this is Connecticut. It's on Route 7 and Route 55. Someone just went by and shot this guy in the truck.
Somebody just shot somebody in a truck on Route 55, sir?
Yes, right at the beginning of Route 55 and Route 7. It just happened. I'm a fireman out of New York. The car pulled up, went around him, shot him. Whole clip pulled into his head.
Okay, sir. Is you still with him?
We're here at the road.
Where? Right at the intersection?
Yes, sir, right at the intersection.
Okay, sir.
He's deceased, boss. The truck's in the middle of the road.
He's dead?
Yes, sir. Brains are on the road.
And he was shot. Did you see the person who shot him?
Yeah, we pulled up. There's a whole, yes.
Okay, which way did the vehicle go?
Headed toward New Milford, down Route 7.
Down Route 7? Can you describe the vehicle to me?
It's a blue minivan with, I believe, a South Carolina plate.
Blue minivan, South Carolina plate?
Yes, sir. A light blue minivan.
Okay, sir, just stay on the line with me.
He reported the murder and also described the killer in his blue minivan. The double killings took place at the intersection of Route 55 and Route 77. The 911 dispatchers received another call, which was from Steven's grandmother. She shockingly informed the dispatchers about Steven's confession of killing his son, Katie, and Katie's adoptive father.
Killed his wife. He killed her father. And I can't even believe this is happening. He left the baby dead when he left.
The firefighter had described Steven's blue minivan to the police. The car was found 5 miles from the crime scene. Steven was found in the car, but it was too late to arrest him, as he had taken his own life by shooting himself in the vehicle. Steven's family was one of the unluckiest one in the whole world. Every member had a horrible end. Alicia grieved over her daughter's murder, but at the same time she felt free from her ex-husband's vicious acts. She quotes, "It's such a relief that I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore to see if Steve is there."